So you want to know how much you can actually make with Uber Eats? Well, so do I. In today's video, we're gonna find that out. And welcome to my channel. My name is Anton, and I'm on a journey to find the most exciting, fun life possible while earning money, saving that money, and investing the money. And so the story goes like this. The beginning of 2020 is great. The business is booming, everybody's doing well, and then the lockdown due to coronavirus happens. I'm not gonna lie, the first few weeks were pretty fun. And after that, I just got bored. So my girlfriend and I, we decided to try some delivery apps, one of which was Uber Eats. Few months go by, the business is back to normal, and I still wonder how much can you actually make on 12 hours of doing Uber Eats. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to my office. This is where I'm gonna spend the next 12 hours, hopefully entertaining you. Now, the rules of the game are gonna be pretty simple. First, I'm gonna go fill up my gas to a full tank. And of course, at the end of the day, I'm gonna do the same thing. Now, the difference that I've paid at the end of the day, I will subtract from my total earnings of the day. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video to actually find out if doing a 12-hour Uber marathon is actually worth the time and the pain. And as we go throughout the day, I'm gonna be giving you some updates on the earnings and the amount of trips throughout the day, as well as I'll be giving you some tips and tricks that you can actually use in case you wanna start driving with Uber Eats as possibly as a side gig, aside from your typical work. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. Okay, so we're finally with that super fast trip. We're finally at the gas station. Let's fill this baby up and get rolling. So the tank is full, the stomach is full. Let's put a smile on my face. Let's put a mask on my face, and let's start with Uber. So log into the app. Now it has this new thing that you have to take a picture of yourself wearing a mask. Put on a mask. It goes like this. Boom! You can take it right off. I have to keep wearing it. You have to press the required buttons and ready to drive. So then you press go and you're set now to wait for your first order. As you guys can see, it's 10:15 in the morning right now, and this is the official start of the 12-hour Uber Eats marathon. And to make it totally fair and square, I'm actually gonna pick up every single order that Uber Eats throws at me. Even though there is a reject option, but just to see the actual potential earnings of the full day without any BS, I'm gonna accept every single one.
A few moments later.
Woohoo! Here we go. First order, A&W, 6 minutes away. Let's do it. So now I've finally picked up the order from A&W for Rosario C. Now, because the earnings are divided into two parts, your earnings and then the tips. Tips make a big portion of your final earnings for the day. So that means what you want to do is you want to make the experience for the customers as pleasant and as memorable, hopefully in a good way, as possible. So what I like to do is once I've picked up the order, I would click on the name. I would start the delivery. This happens once I'm already in the car. And what I would do then is I would go down here and I would go into the message. And in the message, I would write something like, "Hi, I am Anton. I have picked up your order and am on my way." And I put a little smiley face, make it a little bit more personal. And then what I would do is I would copy this, because this is going to be the same message I'm going to keep throwing to every next customer on Uber Eats. Now, let's get this order delivered. Now that I've delivered the food to Rosario, I left it at his door. That's the cool thing right now during the pandemic. There's not a lot of people who will actually pick up the food in person. So what you do is you just leave the order right at the door and you just run off. I get back in the car. I didn't have to take a picture of this. Sometimes they ask you to take a picture. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go down here, click on this little arrow on the bottom. How was delivery? Was fantastic. And before I would let go, I would write Rosario another message saying, "Enjoy your meal." Boom, makes him feel good, hopefully gives me a tip, and we press deliver at the bottom. Bam. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Now we're just gonna wait for our next order. So, little tip. The restaurants would generally hire the driver who is closest to the restaurant at the point that the order is ready. So if you're passing by the restaurant that has the order ready, Uber Eats will send you the notification to choose whether you want to or you want to reject to get the pickup. So what that means, guys, when you get the notification for the order, if you accept, try making your way to the restaurant as quick as possible, because you don't actually get paid for the drive to the restaurant. You only get paid for the drive from the restaurant to the pickup location. Of course, when you're gonna be driving fast, drive safely. That's what I do, obviously. So what's gonna happen sometimes, you might get to the restaurant and the order is not ready. What I highly advise you to do, don't waste your time. Ask them how long it may take for them to finish the order. Now they will give you an approximate. Sometimes it could be wait for 1 minute, sometimes it could be another 10 minutes. If it's anything over than 5 minutes, my advice, cancel the order on the app and leave. Because sometimes they're gonna throw you another order right away and you're not gonna waste your time and not get paid for that waiting time. Now, let's order this order to Thomas. So I'm gonna send him a quick message, same as with before, and let's get it delivered. Another tip for you guys, time goes by a lot faster doing this work if you have good music playing on the radio. You better like that order. I delivered it with love. So, we're halfway into the day. We're 6 hours, a little over 6 hours since we started driving. And my phone battery is getting low. My battery is getting low. I think I know what I need. I think I need a coffee. But before we get a coffee, I want to give you guys the next tip. What it seems to me today is that the algorithm of the Uber Eats app would send some drivers more into the areas where there's not enough drivers. There's still restaurants, but not enough drivers. And there's not enough drivers for a reason, because there's not so many orders. Now, since today, I'm actually picking up every single order. I'm not picking and I'm not choosing. What I found out is that the Uber Eats sent me about maybe an hour and a half outside the spot where I actually started initially. Now, that's not typically what you want to do, because eventually you're going to have to come back home. And that's going to cost you on gas and so on and so forth and time. So, my best bet with you guys is try to stay on the main streets and on busy streets as much as possible. So once you've dropped off the order, try to return back to the busy street. Okay, stay on the busy strips as much as possible. Sometimes make sure you check if they're sending you the next order. Check, it says there, where that order is gonna go. Now, let's get that coffee. Coffee. You know that moment when coffee hits your lips and you know that everything is gonna be okay after that? That was that moment. Yeah. And say hello to my little friend. 10 Timbits for the road. I love it. Now, I'm not gonna tell you yet the earnings for the past 6 hours. I'm gonna leave the fun stats for the end of the video. But I will leave you with this, that so far, it's going not the way I expected whatsoever. So, we have another 6 hours to go. Let's keep going. Let's go. My next tip for you guys is make sure to like this video. It's gonna mean the world to me, and it's gonna push the video a little further in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you. You know what would be a great shot? If this coffee spilled all over my shirt and I would have to drive for the rest of the day with a coffee stained shirt. Okay, time to gear up. Why is every time I put on a mask, I feel like I'm gonna go rob a bank or something? Well, technically I'm gonna go rob the Taco Bell of their order. So the Taco Bell order is delivered successfully. And I want to put your attention to something, guys. When you're driving around carrying a lot of food in your car, smelly food with, you know, fried meats and all the spices and everything like that, it stinks up the car. So what you have to do, you have to keep some windows open, but not to get too much draft. So I'm gonna show you what I like to do. So you're gonna open the passenger window about 3/4 of the way down, as well as the window behind the driver, just a little bit. So it creates just enough draft to pull all that stinky smell out of the car and not to blow too much air up into your neck so you don't feel like it's a roller coaster or something. Now, let's continue. So I got this order, and the restaurant name is La Campagna Italian Eatery. So I know it's Italian, but I don't know how to pronounce it. How you say La Campagna, or you say La Campagna? Anybody can help me out? Hey, how do you pronounce the name of the restaurant?
La Campagna.
La Campagna, bam. Okay, picked up the food. I had to go to the bathroom because human. The Italian guy at the back, he ended up unlocking the door with a knife. With a knife. You don't see that every day. That's some Italian stuff. And bam! 12 hours, Uber Eats marathon finished. As you guys can see, the app says driving limit reached. And now I have to stay off the app for about 6 hours before it resets. Honestly, it was not that bad. Of course, with the support of my friends and family, I was able to do it. And if you look at me, I look terrible. Face tired, eyes tired, hair is tired. Well, the hair tired we can actually fix like this. Before we go on, guys, of course we have to fill up the tank and see what we're at. let's see how we did. Total number of trips is 32. Fair earnings is $156.47. Now that all the tips have come in, total amount of tips was $103.49. So that makes the total $259.96. But the expenses came out to gas, $37.75. The magic drink of the gods, the coffee, $1.50. And let's not forget our dear Uncle Sam. Taxes. We're gonna average this out to approximately 25% on taxes that we're gonna have to give it away. So the total net profit at the end, the drum roll, total net profit is $165.53. This is definitely worse than I predicted. I thought was gonna be approximately $300 at net profit. So this is nearly half of that. So in my opinion, I don't think you can drive Uber Eats as a primary job. But to have Uber Eats as a job to fill up the free time you have outside of your primary job is a fantastic way. So next time, if I'm gonna hear anybody say, Anton, Uber Eats is the best way to make money, I'm gonna say, no, not really. I did 12 hours of it. Wasn't that good? Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.